You've worked so hard to get into shape before your holiday, and now you're scared that you might lose it. Watch how I managed to stay lean whilst I went away. How are we? I'm Will Russ, personal trainer and online fitness coach, former professional footballer. I was one of those knobheads that you see on the TV that get paid unholy amounts of money. Except I didn't get paid that. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing this video. But anyway, I'm here to simplify the now complicated fitness industry for everyday people like you and me. Today you're going to see how you could go on holiday without fucking up all your progress. But before we begin, if you're watching this, you might think, oh, you know what, I'm already relatively lean. But if you'd like to get even leaner, then sign up to my free 7-day fat loss crash course. It's an email a day for a week straight. It's about 90 seconds worth of reading, and it's going to help accelerate your fat loss progress and make sure that it's long lasting, so it's a long-term change. To access that, you can just go in the link in the description, but wait until after the video. So I'm technically filming this before I actually go on holiday. This is Sunday, I go on holiday on Tuesday, so I go on holiday in 2 days. I weighed in this morning at like 88.3. I was 88 yesterday, 88 kilos that is. So what's that, about 14 stone, something like that. So I might get down to the mid 87s, high 87s on maybe Tuesday morning before I fly out. But this is the shape that I'm currently in. I'm not gonna whip my top off because I'm not a gimp, not always anyway. But you'll see a picture on screen right now. So this is the current shape I'm in. I'd like to say it's pretty good. However, this is me after my holiday. Again, I'd like to say I look pretty good. Maybe not quite as lean. I don't actually know how good I look because I'm actually filming this in the past. But based on the things I'm gonna tell you to do today, I know that I'm gonna be in still fairly decent nick, maybe not quite as sharp or as lean as I was before I went, but nothing too damaging. So I'm gonna go through a few points on how to maximize your leanness whilst on holiday. I'm gonna be referring to my laptop, so if I look over here, don't worry about it. Number one, airports. They're bastards, yeah? They rob all your dough, yeah? Because they're either charging you for an expense that you didn't realize because you're 0.1 kilos overweight on your bag. WH Smith is holding people for ransom, and the fast food and the restaurants in there are an absolute disgrace in terms of price. But we're here to talk about fat loss or staying lean or maintaining fat loss. So let's talk about calories. WH Smith's, you can't get a good snack in there, I'll be honest. Maybe if you were really looking, but everything in there is going to be calorie dense. All the fast food places are going to be extremely calorie dense. So if we want to maximize leanness whilst on holiday and make sure that we come back in semi-decent shape and don't fuck all of our progress up, then we need to be controlling our calorie intake. How I am going to be doing this is by making sure that I have a large, nutritious breakfast that isn't crazy in calories. So I'll probably have like a big bowl of porridge, some protein powder, and then maybe some fruit as well. I'm going to have that, the taxi's about 30 minutes from the airport. It's about a 30-minute drive. So I'll have that basically 15 minutes before I leave. So you're looking at 3 hours before my flight, something like that, 3.5 hours. If you have to drive a bit further to the airport, then you might take it in a little takeaway box with you. That isn't a crime to do that, you know. You can meal prep, that is allowed. So this is to prevent me going to the airport and then buying a full English. I'm also gonna take lunch with me. Well, for me, it's gonna be lunch. For you, it might just be a second meal. So I'm gonna take a second meal with me, yeah? Because think about it, if I'm going to Valencia, it's a 2.5, 3 hour flight or whatever it is. If I'm leaving my house at 8, I'm meant to be landing at 2:30 or something like that anyway. Obviously, I need to eat in that time, okay? On the plane, I didn't even tell you about on the plane because I was talking about the airports, but they're going to charge you an arm and a leg as well. And the stuff on there is either crap nutrition or it's just loads of calories that you don't need to be having because you want to save your calories for your holiday. It's not me saying you won't be allowed any calories whilst you're away. It's me saying let's manage it in the airports so that we can at least control it to a degree so that we can maximize those calories while you're actually in the country of your destination. So, nutritious breakfast, either on the way to the airport or before you leave. Second meal, again, that's going to be fairly nutritious, fairly calorie controlled, and even bring some of your own snacks because you can actually take food through the airport. People didn't think you could do that. I didn't think you could do that until about 3 weeks ago, but you can, all right? So take your food through the airport, just don't have it in no dodgy bags. I'm taking protein powder, I'm taking creatine powder, and it looks dodgy as fuck, okay? So maybe don't do that, save yourself some hassle, but I don't care. And on the way back, limit those calories, because I know I love Burger King, and that double cheese, what is it? Extra large double cheeseburger they do with bacon, it's cheeky, it's naughty, yeah? I like it a lot. You know what doesn't like it? My abs. My abs don't like that at all, because you won't be able to see them after I've consumed one of them, as well as the fries and as well as the full fat Coke. So on the way back, similar thing. Now you might not be able to meal prep as well, because obviously you might be coming from a hotel or an Airbnb or whatever you're staying in, a resort, so it might be a little bit awkward. But can we make sensible choices in the airport on the way back? So we've controlled our calories in the airport, so that means we can maximize our calories when we're on holiday. Alcohol, try not to go crazy on the alcohol. Like, have a few drinks by all means, but if you're getting shit-faced every night, like, I'm sorry to say that you've got no chance. No matter whether you just use spirits, no matter whether you alternate your drinks, you got no chance, okay? And then you're gonna end up eating a load of crap as well. So I'd say try and be sensible around your alcohol intake. Activity, how active can we be on holiday? If you're in like a resort, it's going to be harder, because obviously you're just sitting by the pool all day, you're not doing nothing, which is fair enough. I'm assuming that you're a hard-working individual, so you probably deserve to sit on your arse a little bit, but not too much, because otherwise that beer belly or that fupa is going to come to light, and we don't want that, do we? So make sure that we're being active. If you're like a tourist kind of person, or you're going on a city break, you're going to be walking all over the place, not really got to worry about it too much. But if you're someone who's going to be on like a beach holiday or a lounging about, a resort type thing, then maybe a good idea to get up in the morning and go do your steps, so that you don't have to do them later in the day. Get them done, get them out of the way, then you can chill out then. Food. Controlling your food on holiday. Look, I'm going to be totally honest. I love food. I love food, mate. Like desserts, oh, mate. I'm smashing food on holiday, I'll be honest, okay? But I'm gonna make sure that I control the other things. Luckily for me, I don't really drink, so I can use the excess calories that would go on alcohol for most people and put it into my food. So I'd probably have more food than I'd recommend most people having when they're away, or I'd have certain types of food that I'd probably not recommend other people to have, but that's because I don't really drink as much. And I'm probably gonna be more active than you on holiday, because I run most days on holiday as well. So if you're doing those things, if you're running and you don't drink, then you can probably afford to have a bit more food and go a little bit crazier. If you don't, and you do like a bevy and you're not going for runs, you're just gonna do your steps, like I said in the previous point, then you're not gonna be able to have as much food, okay? Or certain types of food anyway. My best bet would probably be try and have a big breakfast, some sort of snack around early afternoon, and then have your big dinner or whatever that you have in the evening. Try and limit those little snacky bits here and there during the day. Fill yourself up in the morning, have a little bit of a lunch type thing in the early afternoon, and then go a bit bigger in the evening as well, okay? Some of you might not want to have breakfast, you might just want to push it all the way back into lunch. It's kind of like, you know what I mean, it's whatever you want to do, it's whatever works best for you. Some of you are starving when you first wake up because you might have an earlier dinner, then obviously have breakfast. If you have a late dinner, you're one of them people that eat at like 10 p.m. on holiday, then maybe don't have breakfast. You might be able to push it all the way back to lunch. Find something that kind of suits you, where you're not going to over consume on food. And try not to just have deep fried everything. I know it tastes amazing. The sauces they've got out in all these different countries taste amazing. But mate, that oil, not good for the belly, not good at all. Last point, expectation. Let's manage those expectations. The odds of you coming back as lean or leaner than when you went away are pretty low. Unless you're gonna like go full like monk mode on holiday, which you're probably not, because that's why you're watching this video. Because if you were gonna go monk mode, you probably wouldn't watch this video, would you? Because you wouldn't be worried about it, because you know what you were gonna do. Since you are worried about it a little bit, and I'm guessing you're not going to go full monk mode, yeah, then you might put on a little bit of body fat, yeah? You might hold on to some excess fluid. That's okay. As long as it's not excessive, you should pre-plan for it. And as long as you know that when you get back after your holiday, you're cracking on straight away again, and you're not gonna just have these kind of like post-holiday blues that people seem to get, where they sack off the gym or they sack off their exercise, they sack off their meal prepping, and just kind of like, I don't even know, go into some sort of like depressive mode just because you're back in England. It ain't that bad here, you know. It actually is okay. There's some places that are getting bombed, so being back in England's not the end of the world, yeah? So as long as you know that you're gonna get back to doing what you were doing, and then maybe go into a slightly more intense deficit, that wouldn't be the end of the world too. So as soon as you get back, if you do feel like you've put on a couple kilos, then maybe go into a bit of a short, intensive dieting phase. And that will allow you to kind of strip off all that stuff that you did have and then go back into either maintenance phase or a steadier deficit where you can get back to losing similar amounts of weight per week that you were losing before you went away. Like I mentioned at the start, if you are struggling with your fat loss or you feel like you could be leaner, then get involved with the free fat loss crash course. It's free, sign up, probably the best free resource that's out there. So get onto it, links in the description below. It's an email a day for a week straight, and it's gonna accelerate your progress, gonna get you leaner than you've ever been, and it's gonna keep you lean for life. Follow me on Instagram. I post on there every day, posting my stories multiple times a day. If you'd like to get in contact with me, that's the best place to do so. Otherwise, I post on YouTube once a week. Subscribe, like, and comment, please. It helps, or supposedly it helps boost the video. So if it does, then please do it. If it doesn't, then just do it anyway, because it'll make me feel better. But as always, I'm in the same place that I always do these YouTube videos, Terra Gym. So T-E-R-A Gym, or Terra Training Club. They've got great facilities here. They let me film in here as well. We've got a functional bit, gym space, sauna, steam room, changing rooms, toilets, all that jazz. So type them in on Google, local in Southport, nice independent private gym. Lastly, if you think I talk sense, because I do, yeah, and I'll tell you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear, which is going to allow you to actually make some sustained progress and substantial progress, then book in a call and speak to me. Speak to me about online coaching. I'm kind of fully booked with in-person, so I can't really do that. And if you're not local, then you're not going to do in-person, are you? But online coaching, I've got amazing resources. I've got amazing softwares. The check-ins that I can do with you will be amazing because they'll allow you to actually hit your targets, your goals, whatever they might be. And if we have a chat, again, there's no ties to this chat, it's a free call, then we can decide if it's right for you, if it's right for me. If it isn't, then I'll try and push you in the right direction. Bye for now.